You need to know the best vehicles to use for one of the most, if not the most popular challenge there is in GTA 5, which is the climbing Mount Chiliad challenge. It's the tallest mountain in the game. It's kind of like Mount Everest of GTA 5, you can say. These vehicles we're going to go over are very effective, and you can get up Mount Chiliad in no time with them. First up is an amazing vehicle, which is one of the best, if not arguably the best off-road vehicle in GTA. It is the Draugr, which came out fairly recently in the Criminal Enterprises DLC. The Draugr is beyond awesome. It's literally top notch in every single category. Let's start with customization. I know it doesn't exactly have to do with climbing up Mount Chiliad, but just to briefly talk about it, it's got amazing customization and a lot of it as well. I want to say it's the most customizable off-road vehicle there is out there. Everything from different door options to liveries to many more upgrades. It's definitely worth it only for customization. But lucky for us, performance wise, it's also absolutely awesome. It destroys most of the competition in races. When I took it up Mount Chiliad, where it got really steep, it still had a good kick to it and it was fairly fast. It doesn't flip over too easily, which is honestly really important for climbing up Mount Chiliad. It's also very easy to drive. The handling of it is some of the best out there when it comes to off-road vehicles. Trust me, going up Mount Chiliad with a Draugr is gonna be really easy unless you're like the worst driver of all time, because going up the mountain does take some skill, but at the same time the vehicle does matter a lot, so you should be going up with no problems and with ease. I don't know if there's a better vehicle for it, to be honest. The Draugr is just an absolute beast. What we can say though is that the Camacho is another great option to go up Mount Chiliad. For me, and I guess a lot of other people can agree with this as well, the Camacho was the off-roading beast before the Draugr came out. I mean, is the Draugr better than the Camacho? Let me know what you think down below. The Camacho is still extremely good though. I think if I had to point out one thing that the Camacho is less good at than the Draugr, I would say is the handling. It's definitely not bad, but I wouldn't say it's as good and as easy to handle as the Draugr. Everything else is really good though. Customization is awesome. Once again, liveries, door options, a bunch of other unique features you can take a look at in LS Customs. It's really fast. It's not going to flip over easily for you. On the flip side to what I was saying earlier, if I have to choose one thing that the Camacho is way better at than the Draugr, it's got to be the price point. The Camacho is way cheaper than the Draugr. It's only 345k compared to like the Draugr, which is like 1 point something million. So if you are on a budget, the Camacho might be a better option just because of the price. Next up is the Outlaw, which is very uniquely built. It's definitely not built like a normal truck or just any off-road vehicle. The build of it is really like no other vehicle in the game. Some people might say it looks a bit funky, but I actually think it looks pretty cool. It's like straight out of Jurassic Park, I feel like. That's the vibe it gives me. The Outlaw is just so different though, because literally most of the car is just the wheels. Like the build itself is just really minimal, and you just have those bouncy springs in between the wheels and the car itself. Those springs actually do make the vehicle pretty bouncy, but I feel like when going up a mountain, it's not really that big a deal, just because it's not like we're going at top speed going down a hill or something with bouncy things that would make us go flying. So I think going up a mountain, it handles pretty well. It pushes up really well, just like all the other vehicles we're going to mention in this video. If you come to a stop, the acceleration is pretty good too. Next up, we have a shorter looking version of the Outlaw, which is the Vagrant. It's pretty expensive at about $2.3 million. The Outlaw is going to be a bit cheaper for you, so it really comes down to the price for some people. Since the Vagrant is much lower to the ground than the Outlaw, it's going to have way better traction, which is understandable, but at the same time, when it's so low to the ground, it's going to be a bit more challenging going over bumps. At the end of the day, it's kind of a trade-off between the handling of it and then going over bumps. It's hard to get everything in one, although I think the Draugr does a great job of that. Now that I think about it, low-key, this video just sounds like an advertisement to the Draugr. Like, I might as well just say, hey everybody, buy the Draugr. The Draugr is a great deal. It's amazing, which it is, but honestly, I'm hyping it up a lot. Going back to the Vagrant though, it's also very fast, and that means you're not gonna have too much trouble going up very steep hills. And I can't think of any other vehicle like it in the game, maybe besides the Bifta. The Bifta is also like a low to the ground buggy vehicle, but I can confidently say the Vagrant is much better performing than the BF Bifta. So for some honorable mentions, we have the Trophy Truck and the Desert Raid, both similar style to each other. And so now if you want to check out the best looking vehicles in GTA Online, click the video on screen now. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.